Some of us are outwardly successful, but inwardly feel unhappy and living a life lacking in purpose and meaning. The Necktie and the Jaguar by Carl Greer can help you discover what's important to you and how to go for it. For more information or to purchase the book, visit carlgreer.com. That's CARLGREER.com.
Consistently attract soulmate clients. Begin showing up on brand, monetizing on your calling. Welcome all spiritual coaches, leaders, healers, light workers, and practitioners to a show that turns you on in your business and amplifies your magnetism. I'm host, catalyst, and spiritual business coach Rosalyn Fung, and I'm here to journey with you into the juicy and help you discover where the real gaps are. Ignite your mindset and soul with strategies and systems as each episode takes you to the sweet spot that activates your soulgasmic business. Enjoy this light language activation as we begin to magnetize and monetize. Hello, my loves. Welcome to episode number 77. Such a magical number. And you guys, I promise you today's episode is going to be so juicy, so fun, because we're going to be speaking about how to create magnetic content to attract your soulmate clients on social media. This episode is going to be straight up strategy with, of course, some mindset work that I teach my inner circle clients. That's right, my paying clients. And I'm about to drop in these gems for you. Because I've been seeing lots of things on social media and how people, I'm always paying attention to how people post and what they're posting. And because of my work in my love for content marketing, I see where the improvements can be. And I want to help you close the gaps. So this is for you if you feel like you're like putting in so much efforting in posting your business and you feel like you're not getting the results, i.e. the leads, the clients, the conversions that you desire. You find that perhaps you might be like, oh my God, I'm so freaking exhausted trying to market myself all the time. And again, not having the results that match your efforts. And do you find people are like asking you, I don't quite understand what you do. And they look really puzzled, or on social media, they're still not clear or nobody's saying anything, right? So this episode is going to help you see where your gaps might be. I'm going to support you in recalibrating to the fun, bold, sexy warrior vibes when it comes to marketing. I really want you to see this as fun because you are gifted and you are here to live in your soul purpose. And it really does break my heart when I see so many gifted, talented healers, light workers, coaches, practitioners struggling to get their message out there, to get their work out there, to receive clients and monetize on their calling. So this is all about you. And I want to support you to level up. This is about attraction marketing. Gone are the days of cold DMs like yuck, no thanks, right? And cold calls. And we don't want to be chasing people. That is such a yucky vibe and nobody likes that. We all know when we're being being sold to by people that we don't know. Okay. So of course we don't want to be that. I know that. So I'm here to support you in being in the vibe of fun, of being magnetic through the alchemy of who you are. This is about traction and marketing. This is a combination of not just your vibes, but it really is. We're going to talk a little bit about your mindset. I can see working through supporting my clients in their beliefs, their mindset, what needs to shift so that they can be in more magnetic vibes. And of course, like I said, this is going to be heavy on strategy today. Now, if you're receiving tons of value, you know that sharing is caring. So please do give this episode a shout out. You can shout me out on social media, take a screenshot of this episode and shout it out on Instagram, Bold Sexy Warrior. On Facebook, it's Rosalyn Fung Coaching, Bold Sexy Warrior. That would mean a lot to me. And if you're listening on Apple iTunes, please do drop a review. It absolutely helps with the ratings. And I always read them to receive the feedback. And I'm always here to improve as well. Okay? So I am so excited. Let's move into the foundations first, okay? Because if we were to start marketing, but we don't really have the foundations in our business, the pillars in our business, then it's harder to, you can look all pretty and stuff, but if there's nothing on the inside, that can only last for so long, right? So you can think about that in relationships, right? If you're all like, woo, I'm attracted to this person because they're good looking, but there's not a lot of depth to the person, that vibe is going to fade away really quick, right? And so I want you to think about your business this way too. It's like, you got to have a really solid foundation. And this is what I walk my clients through in my group coaching programs and masterminds. And I'll give you a quick overview of what exactly I mean by that. And we'll do a heavy deep dive into the actual content marketing so that you can get some quick wins here today and start to implement into your own business. Okay. So when I mean foundations, I'm talking about having a business foundational model and the structures and systems are going to support you to call in clients and then understand where exactly you would call them into. So when I teach my clients about business models, I say, think about it like a home, okay? Your front door is where people come to. Now, you're not going to just let anybody in, right? This is why being really clear about your niche, who you serve, your ideal clients, and also being really clear who is not your ideal client, because those will be really easy. Those are your boundaries. Okay, it's going to be really easy for you to say, nope, don't want this client. And it would be, so for me, for example, I don't want people who are in victim mindset, as I'm sure you don't either, right? But if you help people, perhaps you do, it depends on what your niche is. If you help people move from victim to empowered, to help them see themselves differently, then maybe you do, right? But you want the empowered version of the victims. Like, they know they're being a victim. Like, there's a huge part of them that are like, I'm sick of thinking this way. I'm sick of being a victim to my circumstances. Like, they actually call themselves out. That's the empowered version of a victim, right? And so, and no shame in that. We all have a victim card. We just got to be aware of it. And so for me, my clients take radical personal and spiritual accountability. They are able to call themselves out. They want, they're like myself. Our former versions of ourselves are our ideal clients, right? And so this is really about recognizing, okay, my clients are A, B, and C. So my clients want and are always evolving. They're obsessed, just like me, with personal and spiritual growth. They are about community, about collaboration, about co-creation. They love being in high vibrational tribes with like-minded people. Okay, and this is the kind of containers I create. So then I want you to think about, for yourself, who are your ideal clients? What is it that you want to support them in from whatever their struggles are. Think about, I know there's many. This is where it gets really tough for people, but trust me, this right here is everything, and it sets you up for your content marketing. So you need to be clear who you want to work with. Okay, and I'm just going to say it's going to be often the former version of you. Okay, and so it's like taking that person, what's the pains, their struggles, their challenges, because we all got them no matter what level we're at, myself included. Okay, we're all human. We're all souls having human being experience. And what is the next level version of themselves look like? What's that transformation they deeply desire? So as I'm speaking, my ideal clients know that they're gifted. They make deep transformations with their clients. They love and are passionate about being in service to others and changing others' lives, creating those ripple effects. And their struggles are that they don't know how to market themselves. They struggle with talking about themselves. They're hiding, even if it's high level hiding, which means you are showing up, but there's something about the vulnerability piece that's really scary for you to truly reveal that and drop more mass. Okay, that was me before. Okay, former version of me was, oh, life is great, everything's perfect, and it's very ego driven, you guys. Okay, I know what I'm talking about, I don't need help. I'm the expert. Okay, and so that, there's a difference between, yes, positioning yourself as the expert and acting like the expert all the time. It's really important to peel back some of the curtains. And if you listen to my episodes in my podcasts, okay, in my previous episodes, you'll hear how vulnerable I get. And if you've been following me on social media, you see that I do absolutely get vulnerable. I get on lives and I'm very vulnerable. You see me crying, okay? And not in a verbal diarrhea way. Okay, let's make that really clear. That's a don't. Okay, this is about being able to really be in it and connecting with people. So I'm jumping ahead of the game, but now think about the transformation that your ideal clients deeply desire. And this is also really tricky too. Okay, so once you get really clear about this, it's everything for you, my loves, everything. So think about, so when I'm working with my clients, I get them to dig deeper. Okay, so, yes, we all want to be happy. We all want to live a fulfilling life. We all want to have better relationships, better health, more money. Okay, and so that's a little too generic. Think about your former version of yourself. What exactly were you thinking? What kind of behaviors were going on when you were in your struggles? And then what were you wishing for? Likely you weren't saying, oh my gosh, I want to be more fulfilled. I mean, like on some level, that's of course what you want, but that's not what you're actually saying to yourself. What was that thing that was keeping you up at night? That you deeply desired, that was keeping you stuck and you were frustrated about? And then what did you wish? So when it comes to self-love, for example, if you're a self-love coach and you want to help your clients become more worthy, like know that they are worthy, own, embrace their worth, they're likely not going, I wish I was more worthy, right? I can speak from myself. That's definitely not what I was saying when I was struggling with food and body image. I knew there was more to life than just focusing on food and being so obsessed about it. And I was very judgy, you guys, about what people would be putting in their grocery carts. Yeah, that was me. But because that was just a mirror, right? I'm looking at other people judging them, what they've got in their grocery carts, and I'm sizing them up and down. Yes, I admit that was me, right? Low point. And it's a mirror. Back then I was not self-aware it was a mirror. All right. But what did I wish? I wish that this could just be easy, that I wasn't in food prison, that I could just be free, that I would just wake up and be happy without being judgy about my own body, right? So when it comes to thinking about the transformation, we need to speak to exactly what our thoughts are. This is why discovery calls are really amazing, because you're listening to how people are speaking about their pain, about their challenges. You're tuning in to what it is and how they're saying what they desire, what that transformation, what their dream life looks like, their big vision, right? And so this becomes amazing content marketing. Listening is a very important skill that I know you have if you're a healer, a coach, a leader, light worker. Okay, that's natural for many of us. But to deeply listen from a place of, okay, I can hear that. And then using that in content so that people think, oh my God, it's like you're in my head, right? You're being authentic and you've been listening and you are sharing it in a way that you know your dream clients really resonate with. Okay, so that is I didn't even get to a business model, but that is the key piece. Before you start any content marketing, that is the key piece. So we're going to go into commercial, and I'm going to invite you to reflect on what I just shared and what's that pain, what's that transformation specifically that your dream clients are thinking and feeling and desiring.
A conscious lifestyle for a mindful life. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM. Being a radio host on IOM FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network.
Grab a cup of tea or a glass of wine and tune in for Inspired Conversations with publisher Linda Joy on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern. Linda creates sacred space for leading female luminaries, empowering authors, heart-centered female entrepreneurs, coaches, and healers. A soulful venue where guests openly share the fears and obstacles they've overcome, wisdom and lessons learned, and the personal journey that led them to the transformational work they do in the world. Inspired Conversations to empower you on your path to authentic, soulful living.
My loves, you know you're here as a soul-led leader to transform this world through the sharing of your passions and gifts. You are here to be in your warrior of light and align your business with your highest self. I'm Rosalyn Fung of the show Activate Your Soulgasmic Business. Let's elevate your business to the next expansive level. I invite you to flow into a business soul alignment discovery call with me at rosalynfung.com. That's ROSALYN, fun as in have some fun, FUNG, and let's see how I can best hold space for you to align your highest self, magnetize your dream clients, and monetize on your soul mission. I can't wait to connect.
Coping 19, brought to you by CDC and the Ad Council.
Do you feel like your emotions are all over the place? That's normal during this abnormal time. There are a number of ways to cope. Maintain a healthy routine, get enough sleep, eat nutritious food, and exercise at least 30 minutes each day. Schedule some time to talk with a friend or family member. And remember, you can always take a few deep breaths to feel more centered.
Find more self-care and coping tips at coping-19.org.
All right, my loves, welcome back. I just got a message asking, Roz, I'm really getting so much out of this episode. Oh my gosh. Let me tell you, they're just like excited. So I hope you're feeling the same way. And if you do want to dive in deeper, I'm going to share a little bit more about that at the end of this episode and how we can work together. Okay. So let's go back to getting clarity, the foundations of your business model. Okay. And again, what's really important is your clarity about your niche. Who is it that you want to serve? And I'm going to actually share with you about my fun, bold, sexy personal signature method that I walk my clients through. Okay. And this is actually the fun. This is the foundation. This is where we actually start. So not only do we need to have clarity about our niche, but we actually start with your why. Your purpose. Like, why is it that you want to be serving and supporting others through that transformation? And this is why I always say it's like your purpose comes from your pain. Your that thing you never want to have happen to you or anyone else. And this pain becomes your purpose as you have gone through your own transformation. And thus, that's why our ideal clients are often former versions of ourselves. Okay, so I hope that's an aha moment for you or a confirmation. All right, and so once you get clarity about your why, and in my group programs, we not only just go why, and I'm going to say your why, yes, we're here to serve and support and create a better world, but that is too generic. So that's where I take my clients to go 7 layers deep in my programs, okay? Because it's really about embodying your why, not just knowing it from a headspace, not just trying to memorize it. If you're trying to memorize your why, then that may not be truly your why. You probably haven't gone deep enough. Your why should make you cry, get you emotional, even years after. Okay, so it's really, really, really important to know your why. Now, this is also about showing up, bringing the alchemy of who you are, your education, your background, your stories, your experiences, your personality strengths, your passions, okay, the alchemy of you. And when you bring the alchemy of you, this is how you show up. It's your vibration. And your brand is basically, easy way to say it is, it's your vibrations. Okay, it's how you show up, how you speak, how you deliver, your quirks, your personality. This is what makes you magnetic. I mean, you're in this expansive version of yourself. That's your brand, and it stands for a mission. And so your messaging is aligned with your why, aligned with your vibes, your voice, okay, and who you're serving. And so when it comes to the business model, okay, think again about the front door being, that's where clients, they would have heard about you through your content marketing. They understand, you've built that like, know, and trust factor on social media. Again, we'll dive in deeper on that. But once they get into your front door, you need to know where exactly, if you're going to invite them in, first of all. And if they do, where in your home, which party, which room are they joining? Okay, so for example, often many of my clients who are newer coaches or 2 years in, right, and really wanting to turn it up and monetize, make 6 figures and beyond, right? We want to start with often one-on-one clients. Not always, depending on your niche, okay? And or group coaching. facilitations. So group coaching programs, masterminds, maybe it's a workshop, maybe it's a retreat, okay? So it's really getting clear, where is this client going in my home so that I can best serve and support them and they would really belong in that community and container, okay? So that is very, very basic way of seeing the business foundations, all right? And then it's moving into, and you understand your pricing and packaging as well, all right? And knowing how to scale your business. That'll be really important, because if you were to do one-on-one all the time, dollars for hours, you're gonna burn out, okay? And so I don't want that for you. Maybe as you're tuning in, some of you are there, then it means it's time to scale your business. It's time to bring things into a group container. Bring your clients into group. And so I help a lot of my clients scale their business this way. All right. So moving into the sexy pillar. This is all about your magnetic vibes. This is first and foremost all about your beliefs, your mindset, which dictates your energy. Okay, I think that a lot of times people think beliefs and mindset are the same thing. They are not. So easy way to think about this is beliefs are unconscious and subconscious. We have conscious beliefs, but it's our subconscious and unconscious beliefs that run the show. Okay, and so it's really important that we are becoming more aware of how that might be showing up. So for example, if you're trying to call in your clients, but there's a subconscious belief about, oh, people will think I'm being braggy. Oh my gosh, people are gonna think, who does she think she is? Then you start to compromise yourself or contract, and you don't put out your best work out there. Okay, you're scared of what others are going to think. Deep down inside, this is a very common thing I see. So when we shift to a more conscious, to shift that unconscious belief to match our conscious, that's when we manifest our results. Okay, our desired results, I should say. All right. And so energy is emotions in motion. So when you are super aligned in your most expansive version of yourself, your vibes don't lie, right? People can feel them. People can feel them. Have you ever had people say, I love your energy? Oh my gosh, right? And they reach out because they love what your energy. All right. And so this is a good thing, because that, energy doesn't lie. So it's really about taming an inner critic, shifting your beliefs. Mindset is about attitude. So when you think about your next level version of you, how is she showing up? What is she feeling, doing, being excited about? Who's she surrounded by? What's her day look like? And what is she no longer available for? One of the exercises that I get my clients to do is take a page, split it in half. So there's 2 columns, and write what are you not available for, and what are you available for in your next level version of you. And so it gives you so much more clarity about, oh my gosh, I'm still engaging in things I don't want to be available for, right? And it can, when you take aligned action, things shift really quickly. Okay. So sexy is also about your brand, your image, how you're showing up. And let me just say, do not be afraid to post selfies for content marketing. In fact, my selfies get more engagement than a branded photo often. Not always, but often. Okay. You do absolutely want branded photos as well. That's really important to show your professionalism, to position you. And particularly, please use professional photos for your website. That's a totally different story, but It is the photos, not just the copy, but the photos that make, like, let's say you have, the exact same website, but you use like candid photo shots and selfies for the website, same copy, everything, same colors, everything. And then the other one, you use professional photos. That literally is what changes the game and elevates the vibration of your website. All right, so if you don't have that, I absolutely would recommend you work with a branding photographer. I'm connected with some. You guys connect with me on Instagram. Just DM me, Bold Sexy Warrior. Okay, and it's really, really important. Also, I guess while I'm on this topic, is and we won't dive into this today as much, but look at your Facebook page covers. Do they look professional? You can use Canva, canva.com, canva.com, okay? And it is an incredible resource to create all types of graphics, including Facebook covers. Make sure your Facebook covers has a professional photo on it, or at least it looks professional. It's going to change the game and elevate the vibrations. It shows that you invest in yourself when you have professional photos versus unprofessional photos, okay? When it comes to actual content marketing, so the posts you actually put on your grid, your Facebook feed, okay, I mostly focus on Instagram and Facebook, by the way. But this can also apply for LinkedIn and other platforms. So it's really important to show the real you. You don't always need to have professional photos on your content marketing. People need to see, hey, you're real, you're a real person. And that's one of the ways in content marketing is you are showing up in a candid with your friends, with your family, with your tribe, just a lifestyle one, okay? So that it's relatable. I once had a client who was doing all the right things, putting in the strategies, and yet not really getting any clients. It was like, oh, you're so inspirational. Does this resonate? You're so inspirational. But then nothing ever happens from it, right? You get a lot of you're so inspirational, but you're not converting people from leads to clients. So the problem with this client was that she was too perfect. I even just lovingly said, you are showing up too perfect. Like, I don't see any vulnerability. I don't see the real you. You're sharing amazing, brilliant wisdom, but it's in a way that doesn't show your personality. It just feels rehearsed. It looks rehearsed. And let me just say, yes, you can practice, but don't over practice. You sound like you're making a speech. You want to be talking like you're having conversation with somebody in front of you, just like I am right now, right? When you can show up as real, as conversational and inviting, that's when people are going to be drawn to connect and feel safe to do that. Especially in the personal development world, it takes a while for people to connect because they really, really need to feel like they can know and trust you and feel safe with you. And so if you have this wall of looking as perfect or really, really too professional, at least in this industry, it doesn't work. It probably works more in other industries like the corporate world, right? Technology world, things like that, which is definitely not my niche, okay, right? But when it comes to your own personal brand, personal development, be human, be you. You're speaking from human to human, heart to heart, soul to soul. There's nothing that needs to be perfect here, my love. So if you've been struggling with perfectionism, this is your permission to drop it. Drop it, drop it, drop it. Okay, and then also, magnetic is about having a healthy and abundant mindset. This is where I do money mindsets and sales mindset with my clients. It's really important to be embodied in the energy of abundance, of prosperity codes. And then also knowing exactly how to build those relationships once you start to have people noticing and showing up on your comments, on your feeds, in the DMs. Okay, this is what happens. You know you're on point when that's happening. So, the bold is confidently showing up and promoting yourself. This is about being in service, being confident to be visible. Be confident to speak about what it is that you do and you offer and how you transform others. Confidence sells. It's an energy. And confidence comes from taking courageous action, it comes from practice. It's not natural. And it's related to specific activities. That's different than self-worth. Self-worth is about the value you hold of yourself. And let me tell you, your worth is inherent. I cannot stand it when I see charge your worth. No. So I want to reframe that and say charge the worth of your services, because that you do need to put a monetary value on. But your worth is inherent. And I want you to really separate that out. Okay, so for a concrete example, when I was struggling in food and body image, I had very low self-worth, very low self-esteem, did not see a lot of value in me. And I put a lot of value in trying to be good enough. And so how do I show up? Dieting, working out hard, doing all the right things, strategies to get that perfect body so that I will, be good enough. So I thought, right? And so I know that many of you tuning in can relate with that. So that didn't get me anywhere, but I was very confident. I was confident back then in teaching and being a role model to kids, teens, and adults in karate. I was very confident as a therapist. I was very good at being a therapist. Okay, I was confident in my skills. But I had low self-worth. Now fast forward, I have very high self-worth. Thanks to all the inner work, the spiritual work, and the confidence depends on the activity. Am I confident? During COVID, was I confident to cut my son's hair? Heck no, you guys. I'm like, no, because I've never learned. But am I confident to learn? Yes. Do you see the difference? Am I confident to teach people about how to market themselves authentically and unapologetically show up? Yes. Right? So can you see the difference? It depends on the activity. So confidence starts from taking courageous, aligned action. All right, my love. So we're going to go into commercial. And when we come back, I'm going to talk about the types of content marketing to start posting and the do's and don'ts.
Free your mind. Expand your soul. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
OMTimes magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organisation, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. Connect at OMTimes.com. OMTimes, creating a more conscious lifestyle.
My name is Victor Furman. Some call me The Voice. I've always been fascinated with human nature, spirituality, science, and the crossroads at which they meet. Join me Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio, and we'll explore these topics and so much more on Destination Unlimited.
If I could be you,
and you could be me,
for just 1 hour.
If you could find a way
to get inside
each other's mind.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
We've all felt left out. And for some, that feeling lasts more than a moment. We can change that. Learn how at belongingbeginswithus.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
All right, my loves. I know that this episode is jam-packed and you'll definitely want to save this and play it over and over again. Please, again, do share with your soul sisters, soul brothers that need to hear this, because you know they're epic and they need to get their content out there, and you're like, oh, they need some support too. All right, so let's dive in and talk about the different kinds, the different types of content marketing. All right, now that you have the foundations, you can see and have more clarity. Once again, I'm going to pull up what's really, really important for you, that you can have some quick wins right now, is to get clarity about who you're serving, pain to purpose, because all your content is going to be supporting these clients. All right, if you try to call out to everybody, you're going to call in no one. I'm going to let that one drop in, because I know many people, and myself included, would try to call in everybody in the past, and that did not work. Okay, so get really laser focused. Don't worry about trying to serve everyone. It's really important. You need to be, this is a mindset, polarizing. All right, and I don't mean triggering people left, right, and center. But what I mean by that, in a negative way, of course, but I know nobody's like that, right? This is about being so clear who you work with. You know, it's now I'm just going to take a very generic example, men versus women, right? So yes, could you work with men and women? Probably, depending on your niche, of course, right? And this is just an example, okay? If you feel called, like I could work with both men and women, and who's more attracted to work with me are often women. So I'm going to speak to the queens. I'm going to speak to soul sisters. And there's something really magical when women come together and they realize that, especially if they've had past trauma, that girls can be catty and mean girls, and them being in my containers can be very healing. To realize, like, holy shit, like this exists where women are kind, are cheering each other on, are inspiring each other, are collaborating, are going on and co-creating with each other. Yes, this is what happens in my container. I personally know something about feeling left out and not belonging, and I've shared that in previous episodes on my podcast here. And so I never want another woman to feel that way. That's really important, that people feel loved, are seen, and feel like they belong. Okay? And so for me, that's why I'm not afraid to polarize and call in the queens. So here's now where there's more than this many types of content marketing, but I'm going to share with you 7. And then I'm going to go in a little bit more with specific ones. So they are inspirational, educational, asking a question, call to action. So this would be have them go into the next steps with you. A trigger post, a lifestyle post, and client testimonials. All right, so that's 7 different types of content marketing. So if you are just starting out, the one to really, you want to focus on building content around all these different types, but the one to really emphasize on is educational posts. Okay, it used to be at least in my experiences, inspirational. And I do think those are really important. Those inspirational quotes are really important. But if you're getting people saying, you're so inspirational, but they're not converting into clients, that's probably where you may really benefit from posting more educational posts. So what I mean by that, and you can check out my Instagram, Bold Sexy Warrior, or Facebook, Rosalyn Fung Coaching, Bold Sexy Warrior, for examples, okay, is that these could look like less of the selfie, less of the brand photos of you, and more shareable content regarding it. It can be words, right? It could be a checklist. It could be a carousel on Instagram of the steps you take your clients through, or 5 important ways to claim your power, for example, and then there be a post for each one on the carousel. Okay, carousel is when you can post on Instagram more than one picture at once. Okay, those are really popular. So are Reels on Instagram. Okay, so Reels are video. And video, let me just tell you, is the quickest way to call people in, because you are showing up as you, in your energy. People are seeing your mannerisms, how you deliver. They're listening to your voice. They're getting a sensory experience as if you are having a conversation right with them. Okay? And so you don't want to do only video, because not everybody likes video, but you absolutely want to make sure you're showing up even on the educational posts. Okay? Any of these kinds of posts you can do videos for, but you also want to honor, because not everybody, again, likes video, watching videos. They might prefer to read. So you want to have a good balance. I've once had somebody do only Facebook Lives. And so that didn't get them anything because they weren't balancing it out with posts that were of words, of pictures. Okay, so that balance, that harmony, that alchemy needs to be there. Okay, so in terms of when you are writing about educational posts, it has to be related to, this is why it's really important to know the foundations of your business. Your offerings, keep the end result in mind. Where is this, keep the client journey in mind. What's that end result? Of course, the end result is you want them to be in whatever you're offering. If it's a one-on-one program, if it's a group program, but keep that in mind and then reverse engineer it so that you're creating content that's coming from this program. As you listen to this episode, did you notice that I walked you through my fun, bold, sexy pillar? Why? I didn't do that just because, right? Because I shared with you, I dropped it in. This is what I walk my clients through in my group coaching containers and my masterminds and my one-on-ones, right? So everything is tied into the big picture, and then the content is like the micro. So your educational posts need to be positioning you in your expertise, and it's anchored in what you offer, so that when you do a call to action post, i.e. a sales post, you're making an offer, right? A paid offer. It's an easier yes for people because they've been following you for so long. They're so excited that when you actually share a paid offering, people are like, yeah, of course. Right? Selling doesn't happen. Here's a mistake. Selling doesn't happen right there. Like when you put out a post about your new program you're so excited about, but there is nothing that preceded that to build a like, know, and trust factor and get people to understand what exactly you do and positioning yourself as a go-to expert. It's really important. All of these types of posts that I just shared, the 7 types, are being rotated through. Okay? And so it is so much easier to do that call to action. This is where sales becomes fun, is because you are being serviced. It's that 80-20 rule. 80% value, 20% selling. You're giving lots of value so that when people are like, oh my gosh, holy moly, I get this for free? Oh my gosh, I get so much value. You trust me, you won't over deliver this way. Okay, because as I'm even sharing this, I know so many of you have more questions. I know that. I know for myself when I'm listening to my coaches or people who I want to hire as my coach, I have more questions, right? So you're sharing, and there's so many different ways in how people start to have more questions. So don't worry about over delivering. Give lots of value, right? But there's a difference between giving lots of value and giving your services away for free. Okay, so I want to make that clear. You don't want to start coaching people then in the DMs, and then they're like, okay, thanks. Now I can go off, right? I see that happen a lot. Is that people start giving free advice when that actually should be paid once there's a more that like know and trust factor already being built. Lead them into a sales call. Have a conversation, a discovery call. Right? And I've talked about discovery calls before, but I can definitely do a future one. I talk about it in my free Facebook group. So definitely when it comes to a sales call, think about it as, hey, this is a sacred conversation. You're not here to get this client. Okay? It's about, hey, let's see if we're aligned. Let me see where you're at, where you want to be, and what's the gaps. And then you get to decide based on this conversation, if that is your deal client. This is why, again, it's really important you have boundaries around who your deal client is and who it's not. Then you refer out. That could be they're not, that could be the greatest way you're in service. Okay, it's a win-win. Win. Okay, and then if they're aligned, of course, then you make your offering. Okay, so there's so many ways on these different man, I wish I could have another hour because there's so many, but I guess that's where I would say this is where you would dive in deeper, work with me if you want to really truly understand how to write this content marketing post to sell with ease. Okay, so quick don'ts. What I see is obviously don't be spammy, right? And we are spammy only when we do call to action posts and nothing else around it. Don't be salesy, meaning there's no vulnerability, there's no story around it, there isn't a share of your why, their mission, whatever it is. Okay, if you're always just saying, come to this, come to this, come to this, buy this, buy this, buy this, people are like, you're all about you. But people, all of us are thinking, what's in it for us? What's in it for me? Your clients are thinking, what's in it for me? You need to speak to what's in it for them. What's the benefits? What's the transformation? They need to feel like you see them. So being too generic is not going to help you. I find that content marketing, when it's too long and it's all paragraphed up, that's really hard. People will just psychologically, they're just going to keep on scrolling. So that first sentence is really important. Have a hook in, again, what to speak to them, because people are saying, what's in it for me? Hook them in with something that your ideal clients would stop the scroll for. Then have emojis, have spaces between so that it looks poetic. It's easy on the eyes to read. It looks like art form that way. Okay. And don't be too jargony or use too many branded words right away. Make it clear. Okay, make it clear, simple and clear, so that, again, people feel like you're speaking to them. They're like, you're in my head. What the heck? Okay, and so there's lots more we could jam about on this, but I hope that this was supportive for you to start to think about and go and review your content marketing. Go and explore where you could absolutely improve on, shift, check out these 7 types of content marketing, make an Excel spreadsheet, and then just really put, what would a question be that I could answer for my ideal clients, or I would ask them. What's something inspirational? That's a story of mine that is my former version of myself and helps them give us inspiration? What's an educational post to support them from moving from pain to purpose? And after each of these posts, you can even have a call to action, which would be join my Facebook group, grab my freebie so you build your email list, or if it's a paid offering, okay? Make sure you do have a next steps. DM me for more details. So I hope that this was supportive to you, my loves. I love to connect with you. So share with me what are your takeaways when you screenshot this and shout it out on social media, or if you prefer to DM me, it's me actually answering. And on Instagram, absolutely do that, Bold Sexy Warrior, or on Facebook, Rosalyn Fung, Coaching Bold Sexy Warrior. So if you are like, I want to learn more about how I can dive deeper in with you, Roz, I'm loving all of this. I am calling in I've been working so hard at creating my next level version of me and my business, Rosalyn Fung Coaching. So join me in Soul Ascension Business Mastermind, a year-long magical container. I'm gonna leave the link in the show notes for you to get more information about this, and you can apply to see if this is for you. We're gonna drop in all the prosperity codes and all the codes to support you in magnetizing and monetizing through soul, mindset, beliefs, reprogramming, and sexy social media strategies. Thank you for tuning in, my loves. I hope to connect with you soon. We're starting in January.